welcome back to Furry Fencer. So now that we're eventually done with everything PS3 related, we can get straight to the PS4 exclusive content. So let's this time what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna show what happens when you get all the swords out of the goddess's statue. You're probably wondering, what do you get? Maybe you get some kind of reward. Maybe that's how you also get one of the alternate endings or storylines. Believe it or not, no. The only thing you get out of getting all of the fairies, all of the goddesses' swords out is both a trophy and an extra cutscene that doesn't really go anywhere.
Oh, what's the extra cutscene?
It doesn't go anywhere, Jova. You're about to see for yourself.
Also, where the heck are we? I don't recall us ever going to an overworld like this in battle.
Remember,
before.
Jova, we established this in part 3 of the playthrough, Jova.
Essentially, Jova, the swords are, represent the two statues represent the goddess and the evil god.
Oh, I know about that. I know about that. I'm just wondering
He's
why.
talking about this particular place. Remember, Jova, we established in part 3 that Tiara can bring us here because remember she's the daughter of the vile god, so she
I
has.
get that. I'm just wondering how come we never really did anything there.
I got all of the goddess's swords.
Finally.
So what happens?
Complete with triumphant music.
Yep, it took a long time, but I finally finished. Let's get to it then.
Wouldn't it be funny if they're just leading up to a pratfall joke about how you did all that for nothing?
Jova, that would be incredibly stupid, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Wow, really? They're going the Bubsy
The
route?
time for a revival is now! Shirei?
It isn't reviving.
Cue the Ocean Dub version of the Dragon Ball Z dub. The balls are inert.
How am I supposed to know?
By the way, yes, Yuri?
Well, you're the reincarnation of the goddess. You missed your line earlier. Anyway, whatever. What did I do? That was a really cool line I just shouted.
And it was all for nothing.
Is that what you're worried about?
Well, at least the trumpet theme is not playing.
If I had to venture a guess...
Oh boy, Miss Boob Exposition has an idea. Go ahead and suck it to us, Arlie.
I'd say it's probably because you don't have the faith drop. Oh, you want me sock you one? Okay.
And remember, guys, we cannot do this after getting the faith drop, which means taking out all the swords of the goddess is a waste of our time, aside from for a trophy, of course.
Well, pulling out the goddess's swords is obviously one of the requirements, but we still need the faith drop to revive her.
Never mind that the faith drop was
still
never...
revives the goddess, even if I don't take out any swords.
Never mind the fact that the faith drop was never even mentioned back when, they told us to pull out swords from the goddess.
Yeah, that too.
Look at the sheep.
Can't the goddess just count 5 of her swords as one faith drop or something?
What?
This is absurd. The faith drop is not some carnival prize to be redeemed with tokens.
Why are you using a theme park for an analogy?
Classic. It's classic Furry Fencer F. Do something stupid, point out that it's stupid, and that equals funny.
Also, Dweebs, in some RPGs there are actual perks and stuff that can actually be redeemed with in-game tokens like that, like in Tales of Arts with Namco tokens.
That easy.
Well, that was a waste of our time, trophy aside.
Wait, did you even get an unlockable?
No, the only way we can unlock the alternate storylines, Jova, is if we take swords out of the Vile God. Which, allow me to remind you, Jova, Tiara and Aaron specifically told us not to do this, and yet, so basically, in order to unlock half of the game's content, you have to disobey the game.
Well, it's not on its own as a concept, it's nothing new. I mean, there is another game, one of the NIS IP, I forgot what it's called, where essentially you have an alternate route, like the evil route, where you're essentially doing the opposite of what the game is holding to.
We're gonna get another cutscene now. If I take one sword out of the Vile God, I'll get reprimanded by them, as you're about to say.
So my main... So wait, so let me get this straight.
Hold on, Shirei.
What are you thinking? Didn't I tell you not to pull out the Vile God's swords?
Well, it's an option, so why not? I mean, I know story-wise it's bad, but option-wise it is there.
This is bad. Fang, what were you thinking?
Why didn't you stop him if he...
I love his reply, by the way. Well, I only did it because I wanted to know what would happen.
I was curious.
There you go. There you go. He might have doomed the entire world just for
Don't
curiosity.
satisfy your
Dweebs,
curiosity just for
yeah,
a stupid reason.
Dweebs, don't insert yourself in the game like that, please.
Wait. Oh.
Nah, Tia, that's inaccurate. If it were me, I'd have done this the first time I saw it.
True.
Oh my
Okay.
god, now I remember what this reminds me of. This reminds me of Undertale and how they reprimand you for doing stuff or make fun of you for doing all these super tough things for little to no reward.
But Jova,
better.
it's commentary on gamers' attitudes, and yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, don't get me wrong, even when Undertale did it, it wasn't always the best and could get really preachy, but Undertale at least could be fun about it. But I've just realized that, why are we fighting the Vile God?
That's because
apparently there's an example of this in Spec Ops: The Line.
It's tied to the giant sword in the middle, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, when you take out the final sword in the middle, like Theo just said, you have to fight the Vile God itself. Basically, after pulling out all of the swords of the Vile God, it counts as awakening the Vile God, I guess. So we have to beat the Vile God.
So let me get this straight. In order to awaken the goddess, we have to have a faith drop, taking all the swords out of her Just Jack spot. You're taking all the swords out of the Vile God, releases the Vile God.
You figured that one out. Joe.
Also,
however, defeating this Vile God doesn't do jack. I'm not even kidding. Beating this Vile God only gets you in another pointless, stupid cutscene about Fang you.
So let me get
So there's no real point in this feature.
I was just gonna say what you said, Joe, reminds me of an example in Spec Ops: The Line, where apparently you're told to do you're outright told to do something by a character. You do it, and you get reprimanded immediately after doing something they literally just told you to do.
Well, if said character told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
Yeah.
No, I push him off the bridge.
I will say.
Anyway, the game I was referring before was Soul Nova and the World Eater. FYI.
You told me to jump off a bridge, all fine. See how you like it.
Go ahead, Jova.
Anyway.
Okay, going back to this though. Okay, so let me get this straight. The Vile God is now released. Like, that's the actual Vile God, right?
Apparently, I mean, the game never actually explains it.
So let me get this straight.
The game never explains it, so how am I supposed to know?
So let me get this straight. No cutscenes, no dialogue leading up to it, just poof, he's free.
Yes.
And that's how it is in both versions? No things skipped?
Yes. In fact, Jova, in the PS3 version, the unlocking swords thing is even more useless, considering you cannot unlock any extra content like in this version.
Like, seriously, it's the freaking Vile God, the guy that they're all scared of, and we release him, and there's not even a cutscene?
Don't worry, Jova, we'll get that in the storyline. But anyway...
Gameplay-wise, it's just a palette swap, Jova, and I get it functions kind of like the super boss's palette swaps in Inokuni.
No, I'm sorry to you. They literally had a cutscene for when we take a sword out of the Vile God. So, the fact that they don't have a cutscene for when the Vile God is free is jarring, to say the least. Also,
Here's his ultimate attack.
Also, remind me, Pedro, do we need to, like, remove all swords from the Vile God in order to get the alternate route?
I was about to get into that, so good one. Okay, in order to unlock the Vile God route, which is the one we're going to do now, we have to pull, at the very least, 7 swords from the Vile God, but not more than 16, because if you pull more than 16, then you'll unlock the Evil Goddess route. And since we're doing the Vile God route first, I'm just gonna, for the sake of this, well, obviously, what's happening now is not what's actually happening in between the beginning of the Vile God route. I'm just wanted to show you guys what happens when you take out all the swords.
And also showcase some of the attacks of Sherman, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Dale.
How random.
Alright, so this is Sherman's Fury form.
You know, I'm imagining what kind of stuff from here would be like in this world. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Game Fairy.
Fairy.
Alright. So yeah, basically, Jova, what we're doing right now, well, not now, but off screen is, we're going to take out 7 swords out of the Vile God. For the sake of the...
Let's do this. Get ready. I'm ready. New data.
I'm ready.
Well, you'll see right after this boss.
Nothing.
The real question will be at what point something changes, but I guess we're about to see.
It's the halfway point here. Remember in the halfway point we went to cover at the desert and we traveled back in time?
True.
It's gonna happen again, except this time there's gonna be something different about it.
Alright.
This time instead of repeating the same thing again, we're going to take the game is gonna go in a different direction, as you're about to see.
Yay!
There you go. All the swords pulled from the Vile God. So let's see what happens.
Oh, we do get a cutscene now, I guess.
We do, but it's just like I said, Job, it's just another thank you.
Successfully pulled out a
cutscene.
fairy seal. Just wait, that's it?
No, hold on, Job. Calm down, jeez. Have patience, Job.
No, I get that. I'm
Joe,
just talking.
You
Hold
say
on,
I'm impatient.
Goes and we'll tingle.
Well, that's because you are. Well, that's because you are Dwebs. Anyway, I was just talking about. It's weird though that they would only just say, "Oh, you pulled out a Fury Seal." It's like, wouldn't it make sense for there to be a more bombastic thing for, "Hey, you pulled out the last Fury Seal from the Vile God"?
It doesn't look like it's reviving.
Because even reviving the Vile God requires the faith drop, as well
So
as the faith
basically, this entire thing is just a waste of my time. Thanks, game.
No. I'm sorry, game. The Vile God was literally just there, though.
Well, thank goodness for small favors, I guess.
Okay, are we seriously gonna ignore the fact that we just fought the Vile God there in person?
Yes, we are, Jova. Sorry.
Dang, you idiot! Why'd you pull out all the Vile God's swords? Jeez.
Well, I don't know. My body just sort of acted on its own.
So he was possessed?
You know what?
That's a shitty excuse.
You're not whatever. I'm not even gonna bother. This is stupid.
Besides, Shiro, despite everything, it's still Fang.
All right.
Oh my god.
I know, and that's the worst thing about it.
Don't worry, that was just a recording fuck up.
So let me get
so
this.
now we're at the point where we're fighting Marianne before, okay.
So let me get this
Alright,
straight.
so now
Wait,
we're
go on.
back. Okay, hold on, Jova.
Go on.
Just so I can make it clear. Now we're back to that halfway point in the Goddess Route where we fight Mariana. You might remember that.
Yes.
Right after we finish this boss battle, because I pulled 7 swords from the Vile God, now starting right after this boss battle, the story's gonna go in a radically different direction than in the original PS3 version.
So let me get this straight. Pulling all
Yes.
20 swords from the Vile God releases the Vile God. You fight the Vile God, and then the characters act like the Vile God wasn't revived. Like, no, I mean,
No,
seriously.
Jova. Well, Jova, technically, in order to get the Vile God right, I only need to pull 7 swords. It doesn't necessarily have to be
Pedro.
the sword with the Vile God in it.
I'm not talking about the Vile God rap. I'm just talking about the fact that we fought the Vile God, and the characters are treating it like it didn't revive. Like, didn't revive my anus. Seriously, that thing was
Gameplay
there.
and story segregation, Jova.
No.
But I don't want to know how to revive your rear end. Please
I'm
keep
sorry.
that.
No. I'm sorry. There's gameplay story segregation, and then there's just downright lying. Like, gameplay story segregation talks
Yeah,
about.
Jova, I don't even think that, despite being labeled as the Vile God, there's just a super...
Be right back.
Yeah, it's common in JRPGs, Jova, for them to reuse a boss from the storyline, but without any story context.
I'd buy that, except for the fact that they act like nothing happened. That's the problem. They don't even acknowledge the fight. They act like nothing happened. That's where I draw the line.
Garyon in the 3D remake of Final Fantasy IV.
See, here's the problem. It's like, okay, look, even if they consider that not to be the actual Vile God, I'd understand, but they act like there was nothing that happened after releasing the swords is my problem. Like, seriously, you don't just have a fight scene and then act like nothing happened. Like, heck, even Kingdom Hearts 3D acknowledges that you did fight Julius.
Yeah, but there were no story context for him either.
My point, though, is like, well, acknowledge that something happened. Don't act like nothing happened.
He just wants him to, at the very least, acknowledge it. I'm guessing that's what he means.
I mean,
well, just because the game is bad doesn't mean that he's supposed to, in order to resemble some game.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and now things get different.
Alright, then.
You sure got a lot to say for someone who just got the crap kicked out of him.
Bro.
I agree.
Oh.
But now...
Earthquake!
Guess what happens now, guys?
The evil god gets revived prematurely.
Very good, Tail. Are you sure you haven't played this game before?
Refer to the other statement that I made in other situations like this, because at this point I'm getting really tired of this shit.
Besides, it makes sense. Like, well, I guess it depends on the number of swords that are out of the Vile God, which I guess help his revival.
Besides, we just got told that even in order to revive the Vile God, you need the faith drop, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But little did you realize that
But
same
little
power
did you
was
realize.
raised
Am I watching a Saturday morning cartoon? But little did you realize, you have not foiled my evil plans. Curses!
That's right.
Oh, hi,
That's
Bernard.
right.
Thanks to you.
Hi,
So,
Bernard.
can you manage not getting impaled like a popsicle now?
Fell into that quicksand.
Didn't
Sorry,
she die?
there will be no more there will be no more impalations throughout the rest of this game. Sorry.
But Mariana
Darn.
found me and came to my rescue.
Ah, okay.
Oh, how?
There you go.
how-
There you go. There you go. In this timeline, Mariana took pity on him and rescued him.
Well, how convenient.
Just goes to show how soft you really are.
Oh, nice.
So what? We already took out this trash once before. I got no problem doing it again.
I agree.
Trash
All I
man.
gotta do is stomp you down hard enough to make
Okay,
sure
why
no
are the
one
characters
wants
all of
to
a sudden
recycle you ever
acting more
again.
Ha!
competent?
Get it? Recycle? Get it? Because they're recycling bosses. Huh?
And
Get
also,
it?
and also trash metaphor.
Once you see this,
What are you doing?
Vile
Oh,
God.
shit.
That's... You can't be serious. Is this the Vile God?
So, now what?
now.
So let me guess. Because of this, Sherman's going to see the error of his ways before he goes through with his plans, and that's how he's going to be a protagonist.
Oh.
Not exactly, Jova, but hold on.
Oh god, it insta-killed him.
Huh.
Yeah, it's one of you're supposed to lose.
Well, what do you know? They actually finally made a battle that, works as you're supposed to lose one. They actually showed the boss
But it's still only
one hit
within the
killing
bounds
us.
Of a mere human.
Huh. So we just started one of the alternate routes, and already I'm seeing improvements. Again, stuff that should have been in the original route to begin with.
Unfortunately, Jova, this is the only boss battle that does this.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing that later bosses don't want us to lose.
So, now what?
Ridiculous. How can he be this strong?
Hey.
By the way, Shiroi, prepare yourself, because you're gonna have a lot of fun with this route.
Now,
Goody.
Director
Oh.
Bernard, it is
Okay.
time to release the Vile God's full power.
So let me guess, Bernard is going to
Of
betray
course.
Mariana,
I understand.
Not yet.
Because you
but
saved
he's
my
going to
life, I will
eventually.
happily.
There you go. See, he's even saying, because it's in my life, I will
All shall
happily
be as
obey.
Dorfo wishes.
Yeah, but again, once he uses up that favor, he's gonna betray her.
Hear it.
Yeah, well, we all know that. I mean,
It's crystal clear, Jova.
this game is so predictable. Come on, is that really a surprise to anyone?
Be reborn.
Return to darkness, world.
Kingdom Hearts line!
Darkness rise
God
once
fucking
more.
damn it.
This is the Vile God's wish.
We're not
and
even
my own.
trying.
Aaron!
I'm okay. Just leave this to me. Vile God's power may have been revived, but so is the goddesses.
Sure.
It
why
is.
not?
Oh yeah, that's right, because I guess
Well, to
they...
be fair, Mariana did explain that by reviving the goddess, they also revived the Vile
Too
God.
late.
True.
The Vile God was revived first.
So, that's not a YouTube comment war.
I came first, so I have priority, bitches.
First!
Also, sweetie, you claiming
okay?
that you came first, it's
Come
not
on, you have to
usually a
get through
good
this.
something to be bragging about.
Yeah.
The others.
Webs, he's still there.
I guess he killed himself or something.
The game killed him.
Distortion of
Oh, well.
space-time consume you.
Could you be any more generic, please?
So the Vile God
over
is
the
going
top,
to hit them with time travel.
Alright, and now everybody gets pulled into the time traveling hole.
So let me guess, Dorf is going to use the Vile God to remake time in their image or something affected so that they won or something.
Very good, Joe.
Oh my fucking god, now it's copying Singularity.
Oh,
Oh,
so
Alright,
that's...
Jova, guess what?
Lord Sherman.
It's time for me to pass my baton on to you. From this point on, you're the protagonist.
Sherman is the protagonist, really?
Yes.
I can't hold on.
From this point on, from this point on, the murdering psychopath is our protagonist.
Oh,
What happened?
Basically, Dwebs, we revive the Vile God and accidentally, and the Vile God threw everybody into the past.
We did it. We've won. Now the world.
And now
belongs
Dorfa
to
is able to take over the world, and the heroes are gone.
Play their games for now.
Oh, holy shit. A game from Activision manages to do this plot better, like in 2010.
What game?
Singularity, I'm gonna check the exact date.
so...
Alright, basically, Dwebs, what happens now is, because of the time travel thing, this time Fang disappears as well, which means that now we have to deal with... now Sherman is going to be the protagonist from this point on.
And apparently now we're going...
You're kidding me.
And
Got
apparently...
even bigger knob as the protagonist.
And apparently now Dorfar is affecting the time stream, so I'm guessing that now it's going to be different.
All right, now I'm gonna take my break while you and Joe, Dwebs and Jova will take over. Go ahead, guys.
Based on the terrain and
What?
weather,
Wait, what?
I surmise we are
Now I get to take a break because Fang is not here.
Basically, Dwebs, Aaron and Sherman got dragged into a time portal together.
Yeah,
What are we doing?
they're gonna explain this later, but basically, thanks to the power of the goddess that Aaron has, they were able to resist what happened to them.
Oh!
I think they also did this, like these evil god path, in order to make Sherman look a bit good in the eyes of the fans.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
basically.
oh, wait,
This is the one path where Sherman doesn't turn out to be a bad guy.
Oh,
in the other two routes he does, but in this one, no.
I get it. This is gonna be a redemption arc for Sherman.
Else is in this area.
Which, unfortunately, Jova, that still doesn't work because he's still gonna have moments where he's willing to kill people.
Well, I'm guessing that's
Joyful.
gonna be part of the journey of him learning not to resort to that, so...
For now, we should get moving.
Although
Yeah.
weird, this is like something that should...
Does he kill him because he has to, or because he can?
Because it's the usual thing, Shiroi. He wants to kill Tiara because he doesn't want any evil to live and shit.
Oh wait,
Alright.
hold on, wait,
No,
hold
now
on.
We're doing the soul planes.
Hold on,
However,
wait.
before we do the dungeon, let's go back to the town.
Alright.
So does he remember that Tiara is the descendant of the Vile God here?
Yeah, in this particular, just like in the previous storyline, in this version, it's Sherman and Aaron are the only ones who retain their memories. Everybody else is residents.
Alright, let's see how this goes. You right?
Oh, welcome. We have the latest for your adventuring needs. Blah blah. Our prices can't be beat. If you've got items you don't need anymore, we'll buy those off you too.
Well, at least we don't have to hear him banging on about food anymore.
True, I guess.
So what happened?
Although worried whips, we're gonna get a replacement.
What happened? Did Fang die?
So yeah, the real question: will the skits and actual cutscenes will stand up in quality because of the Fang's absence?
How about this, Teo? I'll let you be the judge of that as we go on.
Sure.
Good idea.
I guess I have no choice anyway.
Don't forget, Teo. It's in this route that we're gonna get the pedophilia scene that I've been hyping up to you guys. So obviously, the thing is, this is a more interesting direction than the goddess route. The problem is that it's still the same shitty writing that's been going on throughout the rest of the game.
From what I've heard, the main reason people like the alternate routes better is that apparently, despite the writing quality being similar, the characters are apparently overall better. So
Like, how
okay,
does Pippin look like he's good at sports?
because he can.
I don't know, Shiroi. This game is brain dead. Don't bother.
Seriously, Pedro, what happened to him? Did he just die?
Oh, that. Don't worry, Dwez. We'll learn about what happened to Fang in the next part, I think.
He's in null space.
Well, okay.
I love that
he's
stage.
Somewhere, he's around somewhere, Grips. You'll soon know.
Green skin. Could you be talking about Pippin? But Pippin doesn't have a ball on his back, and he definitely doesn't have an overbite.
That's a good point, actually.
Yep.
So who is she talking about?
The sharpest.
Is his brother Poppin?
Oh, trust me, Dwibs. We're gonna meet Pippin's father in the Evil Goddess route.
You must be a new fencer. Blah blah.
Okay, is Sherman actually gonna respond to any of these people? It seems to be mainly just back and forth between Aaron, if anything. Oh wait, never mind. There was. Hey.
However, much like with the other route, these conversations are so aside from this, maybe.
Kind
You
of.
sure do eat a lot for someone your size. It's been a long time since I had such a voracious custom. Lady, aren't you supposed to not know us anymore because of the time
No.
travel?
Remember, she still remembers Aaron since.
Your food's just so good, I can't stop myself.
Oh wait.
I can't think of the last time I had such amazing meat.
Oh wait, never mind. She doesn't necessarily remember. Apparently, it's just a scene where Aaron's eating a lot. Wait, Aaron's eating a lot. Oh
So
no!
yeah, since Tiara's not here, that means we cannot ask Mrs. Fire.
So,
Star to stand.
Is this
So
her
Sherman,
way, is this her
Joe-
way of coping with Fang not being
Oh,
around?
Hey, Joe,
actually,
is Aaron gonna be the
probably
new
thinking
Big
what to
Eater?
say.
hold on, one at a time, guys. Joe.
I think I'm. Oh, sorry.
Does this mean Aaron's gonna be the new Big Eater to replace Sang?
Basically, yeah.
Actually, I was
Joe.
thinking something different. What if, just what if, the time travel shenanigans actually reverted the roles and Aaron is now human and Fang is a fairy?
That's a good fairy tale, but no, it doesn't happen.
Oh.
That sounds hard. I don't think I can do it.
Anyway, what happens
That's
is...
not true. You just have to keep working at it, and I'm sure you can become a president. Aww, he's being supportive.
It's the American dream.
You can become a president, and then you'll be able to say the stupidest things on Twitter.
If it's what you really want, hold justice within your heart. Face the world with a strong eye, and do your very best.
Yeah, generic lines.
You look a little pale. Is something wrong?
Blah 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 blah. I don't care. As you can see, these conversations are so completely pointless and inane. So
I
let's
can't
just
see
them.
because we're speeding through them.
Trust me, Jova, you're not missing anything.
Also, that last old guy reminds me of Hayao Miyazaki.
Fairy Fence Drive was a mistake. It's nothing but trash.
They dragged poor Miyazaki into this, didn't they?
Also, music.
Yeah, that's the sound gallery.
Alright, now back to the planes.
Alright, so let's actually finish. Okay, Shiroi. Like I said, you're gonna have quite a fun with your character in this route.
Yeah, but do you mean that though? Are you being sarcastic?
I actually do mean that. Well, it depends on what. I think you will, but fine. I'll let you be. I'll let you be the judge of that. You in about 2 minutes, you'll be able to figure it out for yourself.
Again, to vouch for Pedro, from what I've heard over Steam, the main reason people do like the alternate routes better
I'm aware,
is that
Jova. I'm aware.
Actually, I don't know,
to
Jova. Can you tell me?
The main reason people apparently like the alternate routes better is because they feel that the characters are done better. Their bad dialogue or not, the characters actually do feel better, and that they actually feel that there's actually more present character arcs than there were in the original Goddess route.
I can see that.
Basically, to sum it up like this, people say that, like, well, if the game had been the alternate routes, just without, you know, some of the more sloppily written stuff, because there actually are more good, legitimate scenes as well in the alternate routes, then this would have actually been a good game. The main thing that people say that hampers it down, ironically, is the original Goddess routes. Like, dang.
Alright, you guys remember, this is where we met Tiara for the first time. So obviously, once again, we're going to see the generic bandit once again doing his joke again. Great.
Also, considering she immediately fell for Sherman the first time she saw him at that concert, I'm guessing recruiting her is not going to be a big problem here.
Actually, you'd be surprised. Pay attention, guys. Have fun, Shiroi.
Oh.
Yeah! Please, I'm sorry. I don't have any money on
Also,
me.
different
Yes, this time it's Tiara who's the bandit.
What?
Quit trying to worm your way out of this. Like you just shut up and accept that you're gonna get pounded into the dirt.
Yes.
Okay, I have to ask. Was there like
Jesus
Okay, I have to ask. Was there like a new writer that came on board who's making fun of the original route?
No, it's the same writer according to the credits.
I can only imagine what Natalie Hoover's reaction was like when she first read that bit. He was like, "Oh wait, my character's now all of a sudden
Get it because it's a robot.
my character all of a sudden is now like a bandit."
Well, I will say
I shouldn't be judged that because Robodian does the same thing anyway.
I will say this though, I already like this Tiara better than, well, original Tiara.
The thing is, this is
Girly boy.
this is just like
Okay, Jova, could you hand me a baseball bat so I can smack the moron who wrote that line?
Wait, get bent. That's a British terminology. What the hell?
Yeah, to be fair, even that insult's used over here.
not as commonly, nowhere near as common.
True.
Also, this is just like fan fiction, taking a character and writing them completely out of character.
Okay, the reason I'll admit, part of the reason I'm okay with this is because time travel, so it makes sense that, you know, stuff would get changed this much. So, I'll give it a pass, but I will say
How much did you fuck up?
I will say this, though. This should have been what Tiara was like. I mean, it's by no means perfect, but already I actually...
Come at me, bro.
Also, Q is demonic now, I guess.
Oh, shoot, and we have to fight her.
Can I talk about how... it's impossible for Tiara to be threatening with that voice, because she's still... Despite her dialogue being like a sailor now, she's definitely no Kaine. Her voice just doesn't work with the Kaine style of behavior.
Do you know if it's the same thing with the Japanese dub?
Yes, it is the same thing.
Yeah.
In a sense of the tone and everything.
From what I can tell, this is pretty much a literal translation.
No, I mean for the tone of voice. If the voice actress sounds different, they could have just given the Kansai accent and never the slang being working better for this case.
Have fun swearing up and down, Shiroi.
In
joyful.
gruffer version.
How the hell do you know my name?
That's so forced.
Do you not remember us?
Who are you?
Who are
And
you?
how do
And
you
how
know my
do you
name?
know my name?
Planes have caused her to lose her memory.
Okay.
Where's that damn fair?
Okay. If
Where's that damn full fairy?
Okay.
Screw you!
Okay. If most scenes are gonna be this sort of buddy cop relation between the calm Sherman and rambunctious Tiara, I think I might get some enjoyment out of this.
I can't believe this is supposed to be the same game.
Honestly, I kind of prefer this Tiara.
Exactly, me
Me as
too.
well.
Okay,
Guys.
no, I think I will have fun with this.
Guys, this is probably not a good time for me to tell you that unfortunately this will not last and she'll eventually revert back to normal Tiara, right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps we'll learn.
Basically, Jova, eventually she'll regain her memories and she'll revert back. And they'll even do a joke.
It's an alternate timeline. Have fun with it. Don't constrain it to the original.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and says that the writer actually sees that these changes are really bad thing that's supposed to be reverted.
So
or
that's
something.
why.
Like that's stupid. Let's go back.
Okay. Now the criticisms on Steam are definitely making sense as to why people say that the main thing that holds this game down is the original Goddess route, because apparently even the original Goddess route will dictate how the characters will eventually be, even if they're better here.
Oh, welcome back, Lord Sherman.
Oh wow, I'll enjoy it for what I can.
It seems
I
our
learned
situation is
that
much more
scripts
complicated than I had
suck.
thought initially.
Especially
So,
this
yeah.
one.
You know what?
So yeah, in this version,
You gotta take a look at this cliche.
in this version, it's Sherman that figures out that they're in the past.
Okay. I know that Sherman is, an evil dick in the original Goddess route, but okay, ignoring that, the way he actually interacts with the characters like Aaron and Tiara is so much better than Fang because there's actually contrast. Like, okay, seriously, when it was Fang, Aaron, and Tiara, it was annoying person, stupid person, annoying person, stupid person, they all bickered and were on the same wavelength. Sherman has the maturity which helps offset it and leave more room for comedy out of contrast between the two. And he's also able to help mediate the fights. Like, okay, I get that Sherman's bad, but I will say that, had this been what we started off with, Sherman would have... he would have actually been good for a protagonist. Again, I know that's probably going to get ruined. I'm just saying, okay, I'm running off of the mentality that I am in agreement with the Steam people that, yeah, any ties that this game has to the original Goddess route, ruin it, because anything that goes away from the Goddess route so far is actually kind of enjoyable.
Well, Joe, let's not forget that the first half of the Goddess route still happened, regardless of which route you're doing, because
That's
the first
exactly
half
what I'm
always
saying.
happens. So we still had the rape scene.
I know. That's why I said, it's like, well, I get now why people said that any ties to the original Goddess route are what dragged this game down.
That's just, don't worry, Jova. The Vile God route will have plenty of its own exclusive bullshit.
Oh, I'm sure that it will have problems. I'm just saying that had this been what we started off with, I would have had a much better first impression of this game.
True, but the sad part is, Jova, the Goddess route is for all intents and purposes the one most people first play. Especially considering how, remember, we're specifically told not to take swords out of the Vile God, so...
Again. When I'm complimenting strictly this section, not the game as a whole.
Oh, sure.
So again, our first objective is to search for Fang.
Oh,
yes.
And I paid for our rooms out of my own pocket.
Which means we're going to once again redo all the dungeons again.
Well then, pleasant dreams.
Well, you know what? Honestly, if we get different dialogue and cutscenes, the only thing I guess I would ask for is more difficult.
The only reason you say that is because you're not the one playing it, because I'm getting kind of tired of doing the same dungeons over and over and over again.
No. I don't blame you. Again, though, I mean, okay, I'm a guy who likes to replay stuff to see significant enough changes and stuff.
Sure. I just wish the dungeons were at the very least different.
I agree. Yeah, they should have.
going on in the places where they were before. If there are other Furies there, we should probably get them.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
I have to compliment the fact that they were able to really make this, even though this dialogue that we're hearing right now was recorded a year after the original game, it doesn't feel out of place. It feels just like it always belonged here. So good job on them for. But then again, considering how the Final Fantasy X HD collection somehow managed to get the actors to sound like they did 10 years ago for that Eternal Calm thing, I have no idea how the hell they did that. So I guess that's
it's the same. It's the same thing as the PS3 version of Eternal Sonata.
So yeah, we've just started a new.
Well, if I'm wrong, Teo, but wasn't Eternal Sonata's PS3 version came out 1 year after the original?
Exactly my point. 1 year later, just like in this game.
So,
true,
yeah.
that's fine. But however, what I'm more impressed of is how Eternal Calm on the HD collection of 10, which came out 10 years
Well,
later.
to be fair, Pedro, the voice actors. Yeah, Jova, you just give us a second. The voice actors of Tidus, Yuna, and Jack also came back already for the Dissidia games, so at least those were used to it. Anyway.
Go ahead, Jova.
So yeah, we're barely into this alternate route, and already I think I've gotten more enjoyment out of these few minutes than I did from the most of the game, even with its few good moments.
And we're only halfway through the fucking thing.
Hey, boobless wandering girly boy, what are you staring at?
Halfway there. Halfway
Get
there.
This ain't no peep show.
See
All
you
right,
later.
all right, everybody. Tune in the next part. All aboard the pain train.
No breaks.
See you, everybody.
Check it.